Hey guys, it's here bringing you another video. Now, welcome to our first high rating spectate of season 2024. And the reason why I wanted to do this is there's obviously, well, been quite a bit of change with the new items, and obviously there's a lot of champions that have remained OP, but there are some champions that have kind of moved upward to the stronger group of champions, and there are some weirder picks that have kind of emerged. You know, Singed has become really strong, and then another pick that has seemingly become really strong is Teemo. Now, the thing with Teemo that I'm specifically watching, as you can kind of see here, this is Teemo Jungle, and it's not just any Teemo Jungle player. The player that we are currently watching, of me recording this, so again, this is going to be coming out, I think, as tonight's second video, but it might have changed by the time this is uploaded, or you watch this. This is currently the highest ranked player on EU West. So of all the ratings of, you know, everybody playing ranked so far, this player is climbing the quickest, and they are playing Teemo Jungle. So I wanted to see what it does. I want to see how its clear is. I want to see obviously what item build. It is worth knowing, I believe this game was played today, so this is after the item nerfs, Storm Surge specifically, if Teemo does even run Storm Surge. But yeah, let's go into it. So the first thing is runes, Dark Harvest, Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection, Ultimate Hunter, and then Magical Footwear, Cosmic Insight, Attack Speed, Attack Damage, and Health. Started E level 1, now moving into Q, and is doing a solo clear. Didn't get a single leash. So we'll see obviously how that goes as well. What I might quickly do is every now and then, like when we complete Wolves, let's see where Xin Zhao is in his clear. Just into comparison of a more meta jungler, you could say, is Xin Zhao. You know, he's actually a jungler first and foremost. Obviously, we did see Kog'Maw in mid lane die to an early invade, or not even invade, but 3-4 people in mid. And yeah, that'll be looking to be Kog'Maw jungle. So anyway, Teemo, bam, has killed it. Now let's quickly go all vision. So Xin Zhao, believe it or not, and I don't know if he was officially late because of the kill and like killing the Kog'Maw, but he's slow. But he's done an odd clear. So he's done Wraiths, he's done Krugs, he's about to finish red. So this Xin is slightly behind the jungle clear of the Teemo, but potentially the Xin Zhao was a bit delayed in his jungle start. I'm not really sure. All right, so now moving on to Wraith. So I would say this Teemo has got a very standard jungle clear. Now, one thing that is apparent to me, both junglers, it's becoming more meta to kind of clear the other way. Why? Because of Void grubs, sorry. So it's more common to start, if you're blue side, you start Krugs and you move your way up to the top lane. Oh, does Xin Zhao know? Oh my god. So he invades. And I'd imagine, by the way, this Teemo probably does this move fairly often. In a pure 1v1, oh my god, is he dead to the dot? Pantheon has to hit that Q. Missed. Oh, lots of misses. And now the whole enemy team is starting to gather. This is not ideal. Tristana's on her way. Kog'Maw's on his way too. And Teemo is done. So yeah, pretty sloppy overall play. A bit of a fiesta, obviously, at the start of the game. Kog'Maw's made his way over. Hopefully they can at least kill the Rakan. They can. Teemo doesn't get an assist though. Can Tristana do anything? She does get a good flash, but goes down. Echo follows the flash with his E. And that's overall not a great situation for blue team. But yeah, as I was saying, if you're red team, it's more common to start this side of clearing. And if you're blue side, it's more common to start this side. Why? You want to path to the Void grubs. So Void grubs actually spawn pretty early into the game. And after you do a full clear, maybe you fight for a Scuttle Crab, they're about to spawn. So like, for example, this, you can see on the minimap, the emblem over at Void grubs is grey. That means it's spawning within the minute. When it turns gold or whatever, it's within 10 seconds. So they are spawning within a minute, and Teemo is the other side of the map. Void grubs, I will say, I really do like them. I do think they're going to get nerfed. I do think they are quite innately strong. Teemo, though, going back for an invade, doesn't get the smite or anything, and doesn't even look really for a fight, has to be said. And by the way, it is still quite apparent supports are over roaming still. And there's the Void Grub spawning up 5 minutes into the game. Pantheon does get a return kill, which isn't too bad. And Teemo is looking, I guess, with a Xin Zhao, is my guess. Here we go. 2v1. Tristana's in the area, though. This should go well for blue side. So, in essence, so far, the Teemo pick is just trying to force a lot of crazy early fights. And against something like a Xin Zhao, and hell, a lot of popular junglers at the moment, Teemo is actually quite effective against, because a lot of their initial burst damage, Teemo can actually counter with his blind, with his Q. Oh, I'm surprised he actually finished his base there. So he has picked up a Dark Seal very early, by the way. So again, that shows innate confidence of, nope, I'm going to get fed, and an early blasting wand. I have no idea what item build this Teemo is going to go. And it is worth saying, in the match history of this player, he is getting fed an awful lot on Teemo jungle. So something must be to it, for sure. And what I'd like to ask, actually, about your opinions, everybody. It's been quite eye-opening to me, as streaming, obviously, the last few days, and playing a lot of ranked and experiencing it. There are a lot of players, it's kind of like there's no middle ground. There's players like myself that actually like to see the more AP junglers, or not AP champions, sorry, mages included, have a rise in popularity and a rise in strength, definitely. Because AP champions, especially mages, have really been bad in solo queue for the past year or two. But it seems though there's a lot of players who aren't mage players, they're instantly negative about it. And it's like, if they've been an assassin player or a bruiser fighter player in the last year or two, they've had all the strength, they've had all the fun. But now that mages and AP champions are starting to get that strength, it's like they absolutely hate it. Instantly. Which, I don't know. If it was me, and I'm, by the way, it's worth saying, I'm playing everything. I am very much the way that I've already told you guys, and I'm already embracing, and it's working. By the way, I don't want to give away too much from my climb, but let's just say it's going well. I am just playing OP picks. I am playing full mages. I'm playing a lot of AP melee champions like Echo and Diana because they're crazy, and I'm playing lethality champions. I'm just playing what I feel is strong. So I've got a good spectrum, I would say, about what is good in the game at the moment, without having an absolute bias. And I don't know, I think it's quite fun, the game as it currently is. I think it's a bit of a breath of fresh air. That damage, I actually don't know if that was Cogmore or Teemo that did that big damage. It might have been Teemo, to be honest. Is, by the way, maxing E, which isn't a surprise. You basically max E on every single format of Teemo, top lane, or now even jungle. It's your most DPS of any move, because you're applying the dot constantly. All right, Void Grubs continued, which again should be the case. Again, Void Grubs gives a lot of XP to the jungler that kills it. Bot lane does trade. Again, both supports not in bot lane right now. So 2 Void Grubs so far picked up by Teemo. Remember, he stole the one from Xin as Xin was running away. And it looks like Teemo is going to pick up all 3 of the early Void Grubs. Obviously, there is another round of Void Grubs that will spawn. And just to remind everybody, if you don't know what these are, I don't know why it's showing 4. He only got 3. Void Grubs are a replacement to the first Rift Herald, because Rift Herald was a little bit too uninteractive, and usually what usually would happen, top lane is the best lane, and again, Rakan top lane again. Again, I find this quite silly that a support is top lane at 8 minutes, but that's just me. Hopefully the Rakan dies for doing that. He's not dead quite yet. Teemo's ganking the Maud. Maud does not have ultimate, and it looks like, oh, they need to work together, and they then can kill him. Oh, that shield, the dot, Rakan, what, the auto attack? There you go. Teemo probably is going to die. Oh, good dodge. That looked like it should have hit, though. So overall, a 2-for-1 in favor of blue team. Teemo is going to stealth in hopes, I would imagine, of Zin's going to push in, maybe try to get a play, and then Teemo would spring an attack. But Xin Zhao doesn't do that. But yeah, okay, going back again, one of the very things that I do, obviously been jungling a lot this season, because jungle, I still think, is the best role for climbing solo queue. I am in the early game, like, holding way too much gold. There was a Briar game that literally before 10 minutes, I had over 3,000 gold in my pockets. I'm quite bad at doing that. And the reason is, it's the fear of missing out. That's the way that I would define why I hold too much gold. In the early game when, oh, my bot lane's losing, or I need to help top lane, I need them to snowball, it's so easy to have that like, oh god, but I need to keep playing, I need to keep going on the map and applying pressure. And that's what I hate about having to base as a jungler. But you do need to do it. So obviously Echo roaming, again, he is ultimately designed like a Katarina and stuff like that. His roaming is innately part of his kit. Teemo, though, coming for what is a kind of odd gank. Nice flash. He might even get a double kill here. Gets the Varus. Does he get the Rakan as well? Yes, he does. So it does look like he's going to go Nash's Tooth first item, which obviously is a very standard Teemo item. So he's not opting to go like Storm Surge first or any of the more modern OP items, as people call it. He's still going a very standard item first. Cassante has got Hollow Radiance as his first item. Again, it's going to take a while for all of us to learn these items. And again, you can see Echo, by the way, it's the priority of the gameplay. He's got his Storm Surge. But yeah, 51 farm mid laner. It's pathetic how bad that is. But it's because this Echo is just wanting to roam. I do wish, you know, I'm embracing it more when I'm playing mid lane. I'm roaming more. I've gotten over my hump kind of as a personal player, and I still find things, you know, there are some things that I don't find skillful or it's a bit lame and all that stuff. Like, that's always going to exist, but I'm embracing playing these things more now. I'm just like, screw it, I'm at a disadvantage if I don't play this stuff. And that it's true. Like, if I just try to hold my guns and go, nope, I'm playing Anivia, that's all I'm going to play and that's what I enjoy, I'm hurting myself compared to people that just play the OP things. So I'm now playing the OP things. Doesn't mean I always enjoy it. I do wish, and this is why I say the point, I do wish Riot did something about mega roaming in both mid and supports. You know, you'd sort of say Echo just went Echo top lane. He just went to go kill Cassante. This Echo is never mid lane, and it's kind of crazy to me. And it's like what I said, I don't want supports in top lane before 10 minutes. That's insane. But it is the way of the game nowadays. Right, double kill for red team. Not great by the blue team bot lane. And again, Tristana, Pantheon, I would say, should be winning this bot lane. They are an all-in, crazy early game-centric lane bully lane. Teemo, though, weirdly the same gank path. And this is the thing that's actually confusing me a little bit, I must say, is this Varus now is going to die the second time in a row of Teemo literally just running into lane. You know, there's no fancy gank path or like, oh, I'm behind you. Teemo's just running into lane, just standard, and killing the Varus. Obviously, it is worth saying Teemo's W does give him movement speed, base 10% movement speed, and when he activates it, which he's obviously doing when he's ganking, gives 20% movement speed. But it's a bit weird that how basic of a jungle gank path he's doing is actually working. And, you know, it is worth saying it will work on more immobile AD carries. It won't work as much on immobile. So Void Grubs have respawned. Pantheon support is over here. And here we go. So Zin's going to go down again. The Zin, I don't know what he's doing exactly. Echo's going to go down. And yes, by the way, Echo, a bit cocky, I would say. Bought a Medjai's. But that, is it too surprising as a mega roaming player, clearly? Like, you get more stacks by getting kills. And if you mega roam, like this Echo is doing, it's more chance to get a lot of kills. So maybe it's not a surprise that he went Medjai. I just think it's a bit cocky. And if you're wondering, by the way, what rank actually this is, so these players are already a few hundred LP into Master. I don't believe anybody's in Grandmaster yet. I don't even know if Grandmaster's open. Usually they wait a few days for it actually to open Grandmaster and then a Challenger eventually. But yeah, so Maud haunting guys. He does get a kill. Rakan once again in top lane. But as majority of these players will be Master, by the way, officially no duo queue will be in this game, although it does kind of, Rakan, it does sometimes feel like it with like Rakan going permanently top lane. It's like, is Rakan duo with the top laner? It sometimes feels like it, but Rakan goes down again. So a lot of deaths are happening. Kog'Maw goes down to a Xin Zhao gank. Pantheon support doing his best to help out, and Tristana doesn't get the kill, unfortunately. Did look like she was like struggling actually right-clicking the right target, and she delayed her auto attack. Teemo's going to push mid lane, and Rift Herald has now spawned. So Teemo, by the way, himself has got a Dark Seal at 10 stacks. That's obviously the most stacks Dark Seal can hold before you upgrade it to Medjai's. It'll be interesting to see if he buys a Medjai's this game. So other than that, obviously Kog'Maw, AP Kog'Maw, which I've not seen in a very long time, is running Malignance. Does make sense for an AP Kog'Maw. Again, actually a pretty damn good item on AP Kog'Maw. And if you're like, wait, AP Kog'Maw's the thing. If you're newer to the game, yeah, you probably wouldn't know AP Kog'Maw has been a thing for years. It's been a very powerful thing in some years. Froggen, some people may know the name, an old pro, known for his Anivia. He was also known for his AP Kog'Maw. AP Kog'Maw in the hands of a truly skilled player that is very accurate with skill shots is very hard to beat. It just hasn't been that popular in Modern League, mainly because of how easy it is to kill in mid lane. But maybe with the map changes of making mid lane officially the hardest lane to gank, maybe the rise of Kog'Maw could be back, because there are a bunch of items that actually suit him really well. Malignance obviously is definitely one. So Kog'Maw, I mean, again, I'm so interested to see where he goes next. Okay, there you go, Liandry's Torment. So again, Liandry's is still in the game. It's obviously not a mythic anymore. It's weaker than it used to be. It doesn't give mana anymore, which obviously I've yet to play an Anivia game. I've heard mixed things about her. I've played against an Anivia and she did not seem very strong. She has been impacted of, like, you know, she's having to build... An Anivia build nowadays is Rod of Ages. Is he getting inside? Here we go, he's inside. Let's go. So yeah, Rod of Ages, Haunting Guys, Seraphs is kind... Oh, he missed! He missed! I have seen so many people miss in Rift Heralds already this year. So now he's returning on... That whole situation that did not go well, honestly, is Teemo's fault. He missed his... Hilariously, the Rift Herald, though, obviously because it doesn't despawn after you miss something and it times out, it went mid and killed mid tower. So it actually didn't end up that bad, but... Because, yeah, bot lane tower died anyway. That's quite a funny situation. And now it's going to turn into red team dragon. Oh, sorry, blue team dragon. Cassante actually over here too. Obviously, we got some bugs in the spectator feature. But yeah, bit of a fiesta this game, but nonetheless. I don't know why he's rushing Titanic Hydra on Xin Zhao. That doesn't seem good to me. Obviously, I have heard through the grapevine that fighter champions aren't as good as they have been. But again, I would say fighter champions for a long time have been very strong. Oh, nice blind. That gets rid of auto attacks on the Trist. Tristana doing what she can, and they do end up trading in the end. Rakan was just sitting in a bush, and the mushroom, and that's a dead Rakan. So again, what it seems quite common for this Teemo to do with gank paths is he puts a mushroom down when he's coming into gank, and then he tries to close them off from an angle, and if the only angle he's trying to give them as an escape is, oh, you're going to run back into my mushroom. It's actually quite smart. Would I say so far that this is really overpowered? It's hard to say, because the thing with these type of picks, you know, Teemo jungle, he's not really a jungler. He can jungle in modern jungle, and again, for those that are like, how can he jungle? So Teemo's clear, you would, before the new changes, would have basically been way too bad for him to jungle properly. What Riot did in the patch is Riot wanted to kind of shorten the gap between innately good jungle clearers, like, let's say, Karthus with so much AoE, and bad jungle clearers like Sylas, you know? They wanted to try and shorten the gap between those two so both groups of champions can jungle. And Teemo would have fallen into the category of, oh, his jungle clear is not great. But with the change, what in essence the change does, and you can see the Teemo is spacing very well here. He doesn't want to die because he's got Medjai's now. But in essence, what the jungle change does is they've reduced how much percentage a champion does to jungle, and they've increased how much jungle pets do. Look at that Kog'Maw damage! Woo! Yeah, that Kog'Maw damage actually is pretty damn high. I might have to try an AP Kog'Maw game. I used to play AP Kog'Maw years ago. But yeah, basically, jungle pets now do more damage, not just the champions. So someone like Teemo, whose jungle clear isn't going to be great, the pet does more damage, thus allowing him, in essence, to jungle. That's basically how it's working. Would it have technically... I can't remember the way of it. Would it have been better to Teemo to wait till now and then kill blue? Or would it... I think maybe it's the next lot of blue... Oh, he's going Baron straight away? Really? Baron's hard to kill nowadays. Especially if you get hit by its abilities. They're trying Baron. If K'Sante gets here, they can do it. These two definitely can't. If K'Sante gets here, maybe. So yeah, Pantheon's nearly dead. Again, Baron's hard to kill. It's not supposed to be a thing that two people can just do at 20 minutes nowadays. But they're going to kill it. Enemy team, I'd imagine, is going to be quite surprised about that. Damn. Teemo build, Glowing Moat is the ability haste. Which he upgraded, I think, into Lost Chapter. And then also getting an Amp Tome. So presumably this guy, his next item either will be Ludens potentially. Or I think Storm Surge. It'll be one of those two most likely. Mid lane, plays are happening. Kog'Maw does use his flash to escape the Rakan. Obviously, Echo, as I said earlier, a bit cocky having that Magi, in my opinion. Oh, Rakan. He does a lot of bad positioning, this Rakan. I don't know. Oh, dude, these Kog'Maw. Hit it! Boom! It's worth also noting, Kog'Maw ultimates do increasingly higher damage each ultimate you do consecutively. Just pressing it, but they also go up in mana cost. Kind of like Kassadin. Teemo, though, and one thing I actually will say I like about this Teemo jungle, he can get around the map really quick. Because how quick his base movement speed is with his W, he actually gets around the map. He goes from mid to bot or whatever really fast. I might have to play a Teemo jungle game in the next ranked play session. I don't know, like, I don't know if I'd call it overpowered. Because I think I was touching upon the topic earlier, but I didn't finish my point. Part of the strength of something like Teemo jungle and these type of picks, and yeah, I didn't finish the point, is the unknown. This Xin, very unlikely, has never, very likely, sorry, has never played against a Teemo jungle before. So he doesn't know anything about it. He doesn't know the path. He doesn't know the gank path. He doesn't know what it's going to do. So it's very, it's the whole nature of cheese picks. It gives the advantage to the cheese pick in matchup. Because if this player just plays Teemo jungle, he's probably played against a Xin before or something very similar like a fighter, where the fighter or Xin player has probably never played against a Teemo. Wow, that damage. Obviously, Teemo obviously decently good counter against Echo because it gets rid of his big boom auto attack with his E. Xin goes down again in top lane. Rakan once again going to die. Pantheon getting himself a double kill. Wouldn't be surprised if Pantheon isn't too bad at the moment because obviously with the lethality being so strong, that's clearly going to help Pantheon. We have Malignance. Okay, that makes sense. So Teemo's ultimate is his mushrooms. So if someone walks over a mushroom, it will count. It will proc this item. And basically dealing extra damage of an area as a burn and reducing magic resist. And so that will affect the dot that is applied. So that's actually an all-round good package for Teemo. 24 stacks of Magi's, though. His damage is really high, you can tell. So Kog'Maw goes Seraph second. Unsurprising, he needs a lot of mana to up, kind of uptick his crazy mana cost with his ultimate spikes. Maud's had a very quiet game. I have heard... Oh, hello, Miss Maya. I've heard, like, Swain, Maud, Vladimir, these type of champions, all kind of similar, are quite strong. But obviously K'Sante, I guess, is K'Sante. Is the strength of K'Sante is denying others. And, yeah, I'd imagine even with all the changes, K'Sante can still do that very effectively. Fist Bump is not completed. He has ulted... Who's he ulted? He's ulted the Trist. Yeah, this Maud doesn't seem very strong. Oh, and actually he pops out for Kog'Maw to kill. That does look like practically going to be the game. Teemo controlled this game very well. 8-1-11 compared to 5-8-1 by Xin. Very good damage. And his item synergy actually seems pretty good. And that's the thing I would say is what Riot has basically done with a lot of the AP items specifically. A lot of us, the AP items, AP champions have the most new items. Oh, he does go down. Is there's really good synergies of champions with certain items. Where before, it was quite true, a lot of AP champions didn't have that good synergies with items. But now it's basically the opposite. They've got great synergies. But yeah, Teemo jungle. The fastest climbing player right now is spamming Teemo jungle, getting fed most games, and that actually looked pretty good. Also reminding, this Teemo started the game without a leash, so could have had a better, faster clear if had any leash at all. So that was actually pretty impressive. But yeah, let me know what you think about these kind of weird picks popping up. Do you like them? Do you not? I don't mind them. Again, there is such a thing, obviously, that, you know, it's where the line is, and everyone's line is personal. There's just cheese picks, and there's innovation. And both exist, and both will always happen, and sometimes cheese picks become innovation when the community accepts it as a whole. You know, when Zyra was released as a mid lane mage, when people stopped playing her as mid lane and she went to support, a lot of people saw it as a cheese thing, but then the community accepted, oh no, Zyra's a better support, and then Riot accepted, oh, Zyra's a better support, and then they balance her to there. Sometimes that's the way that it goes. But anyway, that's gonna be it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying. Do throw a like on the video, throw a comment, throw a subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.